Since 1989, Karl Strauss has been pioneering and crafting all these beers that people have never tried before. That's never going to change. We're going to continue turning people on and sharing beer with people that haven't had it yet.
Here in San Diego, we've become part of the fabric of life of this community. We have been innovating and pioneering for 25 years, and we continue to do that on a daily basis. And it's really why we get out of bed in the morning, and it is amazing to look back now and see how San Diego has changed and embraced craft beer, something that never would have been envisioned 25 years ago.
We think that's a really good answer. It only goes downhill from here.
Back in 1989, San Diego was a Bud Light, Coors Light town.
Karl helped teach us that craft beer is really all about enjoying the moments, life well lived. It's a simple pleasure.
We believe that if we introduce San Diegans to this better style of beer, these craft beers that Uncle Karl could deliver, we believe because of the nature of San Diegans, their adventuresome spirit, their willingness to embrace new concepts and just have fun, and that ultimately we could build an industry here. And we were right.
One of the things I remember about Karl Strauss was that when he would come to visit us, he would walk in the door and he would know everybody's name. He would say, "Hi, Bonnie." He's an amazing man. Yeah, people were important to Karl. It's an amazing company to work for.
There are a lot of brewers in town right now that were like me. They had their first craft beer here in San Diego at that downtown location and were hooked immediately, and we knew this is what we wanted to do. This is the way of the future.
I think one of the secrets to our success is our focus on quality, and that has helped set up the entire industry to become world class. Karl's passion, his commitment to quality, been handed down to a whole bunch of brewers who used to work for us and have gone off and started other brewing companies.
And this year, as we celebrate our 25th anniversary, we're including them in our celebrations.
So this year we have our 25th anniversary barrel-aged Doppelbock, a style of beer that we knew would go really well in bourbon oak barrels. The tannins, the vanillins, and the oak flavors go really well with some of the beers that we do, like Russian Imperial Stouts, old ales, all sorts of different sour beers. So we're staying true to tradition, but we're pushing the envelope.
Karl Strauss just has the best team of brewers ever.
Beer competitions have really come a long way. You really have to have awesome beer to win a medal nowadays. Red Trolley itself has gone crazy in competitions. It's defining the style of Irish Red. It's pretty cool.
Karl Strauss Brewing Company has won 54 medals in the last 3 years in international beer competitions, and we still think that we're just getting started.
Yeah. I love cask beers. It's lighter carbonated and allows you to taste all the little subtle nuances in the beer. In all of the Karl Strauss locations, we serve a different beer every week. So people go there on Thursday nights knowing they're going to get something special.
3, 2, 1.
It's very cool to look out over a venue of people drinking Karl Strauss beer and to know that we're making people happy one beer at a time. There are so many beers we have yet to do. There's so much music in us that has yet to come out. That's what I love about Karl Strauss Brewing Company.
We're amazed to look back and see how much this industry has grown and how San Diego has gone from being a light beer town to being on the forefront of the world beer scene. Our future is we're continuing to expand, and as we look at where we are today, none of this would have been possible without the support of San Diegans. And I'd just like to say thank you, and I guarantee you the best is yet to come.
Thanks, San Diego. Cheers.
If it isn't the best beer you ever tasted, my name is Karl Strauss.
I don't know if I could imitate Karl.
No.
I cannot.
Can I just say some good things about Karl?
Karl is a totally cool dude.
No matter where I go, people recognize me by my accent. The minute I open my mouth, I'm in trouble.
Just
surprisingly funny in many, many different ways.
My father would have rather I would become an attorney.
Karl was actually a very German, congenial, charismatic gentleman.
Any opportunity always depends on the person pursuing it, knowing what they're doing.
Matt, come here. This is not right.
In his lifetime, Karl Strauss brewed more than 7 billion beers.
It's amazing how much this man knew.
I do remember his very distinct voice, beckoning me to drink.
He'd always say, the proof is in the glass.
We brewed top-notch beer. I mean, I'm convinced of that.
He was always about sharing the beer.
And how does he say it?
You'll agree it's the best beer you've ever tasted, or my name isn't Karl Strauss.
We're coming up this October on the 100th anniversary of Karl's birth.
I was born in the middle of a brewery, and most of my life I've lived in the brewery.
You know, you think about a young man growing up in Minden, Germany, in the Feldschlossen brewery, where his father was the president. He believed in old world principles of hard work and ethical behavior.
And then from there on I went to college in Munich and studied brewing.
And it was the Kramer family that sponsored Karl and his sister to get out of Germany back in 1939. And if you know your history, 1939 was a great time to get out of Germany.
After the Holocaust, we were the closest relatives that Karl had.
I was visiting friends of the family in Milwaukee on my way to San Francisco. Then I was offered a job by Pabst.
He started in the cellars and he worked his way up and became over time the vice president in charge of all production.
In the last 25 years of which he was responsible for every drop of beer that Pabst Brewing Company made, running 5 major breweries across the United States with peak production at more than 17 million barrels of beer a year.
As it turned out, I spent 44 years with Pabst. I felt quite at home.
And he retired in the 80s and then began a second career consulting on this microbrewery revolution that was starting up. And he helped a lot of great breweries get off the ground and start making great craft beer.
He went back to his roots, and his focus was great beer here in America. And I think that's part of Karl's legacy. Across America, people drink better beer because Karl Strauss lived.
San Diego had nothing like it. That's why building a brewery here had to be considered a big gamble. But a couple of guys just out of school have turned the idea into a real success.
I think they were young and they were eager. Karl had a great pedigree.
So when they convinced Chris's cousin Karl, a longtime brewmaster, to help out,
The first thing was, will you help me with the beer? And I said, sure. Then the next thing, he asked me, could they use my name? Then could they put my picture on the labels?
He was so accessible and passionate about his craft and about sharing great beer and how beer could elevate your life.
Karl Strauss was very important at setting a tone. Some of the craft brewers didn't understand initially how important it was to be consistent.
Karl taught us to be able to take the quality assurance programs of big breweries and bring them down to a craft brewing level.
And then all the brewers that we train here that have gone off to start other breweries, everyone's focused on quality.
The highest compliment you can pay any brewer is to say that their beer is consistent and clean and, of high quality.
Karl Strauss was literally one of the 3 most famous brewers in the world.
you still seem to have a passion for this.
Oh yeah, that's the only thing I know how to do, and I like to do it.
He is the only person ever to have won the Master Brewers Association's 3 highest honors. He was someone who set the standard, and because of that, he was acknowledged as the godfather of beer. Karl's world of doing things right, of using science to enable you in the art of brewing, we are taking that philosophy to the next generation of brewers.
For a man of his stature, he was extremely considerate. He was just a great guy.
And when he passed, people came out from all these different brewing companies, big brewers, to say that Karl Strauss was the best brewer they had ever known.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you, Karl.
I think somewhere in the heavens, Karl was smiling.
Happy birthday, dear Karl! Happy birthday to you! Yeah! Woo! sharing beer is what we're about, so being able to share it here where it's being made is huge for us. We're psyched. When people come to our tasting room for beers, this is kind of the heart and soul of what we do and who we are. Especially if you could look in and watch guys working, you're sort of immersed in the brewing process. You're gonna get wowed. We're constantly pioneering new beers. You're gonna see beers you've never had before. They're gonna be cool creations that our brewers have made, like single hop brews of wheat pale ales. We've got beers we've laid down. We've also got our Coastal Reserve beers, all sorts of special release beers on tap. In addition to this brewery, we also have a really good cross-section of a lot of the small batch one-off beers that we brew at all of our brew pubs. There's always going to be a beer for every palate pouring here at the tasting room.
My name is Lyndon Walker. I am a brewer at Karl Strauss Brewing Company. Cheers. Rec Alley Imperial Stout is one of our bigger beers. Our Rec Alley is part of the Imperial Collection. It's a stronger, bolder version of our oatmeal stout. This beer is actually probably our most difficult beer to make because of the volume of the ingredients that go into it. Rec Alley is made with roasted barley, and we add some interesting adjuncts to it to complement the darker flavors, including this Bird Rock coffee as well as the cocoa nibs. Coffee and this style of beer go really well together. This roasted barley right here is very similar to a roasted coffee bean. So when you use the coffee in the beer, it complements, it works really well together. So our Rec Alley in the bottles and on tap you can find all year round. But we also age some of it in barrels like you see behind me. That is a special treat. So if you find that, you should jump on it.
The craft brewery movement in the last few years, quality control has become really important because the competition has gotten so fierce that if you don't have quality and if you don't have consistency, then you're not going to sell beer. My name's Sean Steele and I'm quality control manager at Karl Strauss Brewing Company. Karl Strauss was very adamant that every brewery, no matter what size, should have the same quality control standards. Karl insisted that when you started a brewery, you started with a quality control lab. In our quality control lab, we do taste panels every day to make sure the beer tastes good, but then we dive into the science to make sure the beer tastes the same the day it leaves the brewery to 30, 40, 50 days out. We test everything and anything from our wastewater to our water coming in to the beer to the grain to the yeast. Everything's tested along the way. Quality control is always about keeping your customers coming back. The more consistent you are, the more detail-oriented you are, the better your beer is, and people know that. There's not a lot of breweries our size started the way we did that are still around. Over 25 years, we've only gotten bigger, and we're only going to get bigger from here.
I think if there was a beer that I didn't like, I don't think I'd be making it. I think we kind of make beers that we like to drink. If it doesn't taste good to us, I don't see us brewing it, you know. It's as simple as that. I'm Paul Segura, the brewmaster for Karl Strauss Brewing Company. Cheers. Brewed in San Diego, California. For us, in the context of Karl Strauss Brewing Company, pioneering spirit is doing things that haven't been done yet, brewing beers that are out there, that are pushing the envelope of what beer actually is.
Since I've been here, which is now 12 years, every year we've done over, 35, 40 different types of beer. So over the course of 23 years now that we've been in business, you can imagine how many different beers we've done.
I think one of the things that makes Karl Strauss so unique is we just do a bunch of really terrific, outstanding beers. Double IPAs, Belgian quads, bourbon, barrel-aged beers. So I think what Karl Strauss stands for now is edgy but approachable.
He's the brains and I'm the brawn. We get along very well, partly because we're so different.
That thing that they have works really well. It's a great dynamic.
Karl and our soul is absolutely about the values that Karl lived. Our next generation of brewers, especially with some of the Imperial Series beers that we're making these days, have really demonstrated a total commitment to the quality that we put into the beer.
They hire good people and let them do their jobs, and that's pretty cool.
That's it, I'm putting on the movie, aren't I? My name is Matt Johnson, and I'm the head brewer here at Karl Strauss Brewing Company. We like to share our beer. That's our passion. Every single one of the guys who works here as a brewer is passionate about their beer.
Our work, our passion, our knowledge, it all kind of comes through to the finished beer, we hope.
Paul, he's taught me to, keep it light. This isn't serious,
I know that we don't look it, but we are actually educated.
All the brewers here, we all know how to do everything from the raw product till it's packaged and out the door.
My name is Brian Scott. I'm the packaging supervisor and equipment maintenance manager.
He's kind of the gearhead of this whole place.
Here at Karl Strauss, we all strive to take pride in our beer, and I think that shines through our packaging line.
Our two QC guys are pretty much the last stop. If a beer's not within spec, it doesn't get packaged.
This amount of quality control, most breweries our size do not do.
In the lab, those guys are checking every batch of beer for everything you can imagine.
We have all these instruments here. We have microscopes, we have spectrophotometers, we have incubators, but a person to go and taste it and smell it, they can tell you have a problem before you know you have a problem.
And also they organize our tasting panel.
The tasters are here to taste whether or not the whole run of this packaging was consistent.
For us to continue winning medals at the rate we have is pretty cool. We're psyched about it. We all went up on stage to receive these awards together as a team. And once we get back to the table, then of course it's, cheers to Karl.
Just in 2011 alone, we won over 16 medals for our beers. Take that.
That's a hopper where we store, we call it grist after it's been milled. Once we're done extracting all that juice, all the spent barley gets pumped to a tank on the outside of the brewery where Farmer John comes to pick it up and feeds his dairy cattle with it.
This is part of their recycle program, and 100% of this is utilized by the dairies. There's been a lot of expansion here in the last couple of years, so that's a good thing.
All the changes that are happening here are indicative of how much Karl Strauss is growing. You can see it all over Southern California. It's something that people really take pride in.
They are San Diego's original microbrew. 23 years into it, they're still getting better. And all the people that I know that work in this organization, from sales to marketing to the head brewer and all the brewers, they're genuinely good people.
You apply hipster to beer, and it's people that are passionate about new, great, off of the mainstream type beers. Changing of the barrels is where we invite a limited number of people to our brewery, and we take beer out of oak barrels that's been aging for a year, and we put that into bottles, and we put fresh beer into those oak barrels where that beer is then going to be aging for a year to commemorate our anniversary.
Yeah, after 23 years in business, we're over 40,000 barrels of beer brewed, 7, soon to be 8 different brewing facilities. We are turning our main brewery into a tourable facility. We're all about core values and beach cleanups. We partner with Surfrider, and we are hoping to expand into Northern California. So it's a fun place, great people.
Well, our plan for the future is pretty simple. We are going to make Karl now available to more people. And we'll also make sure that we will keep our pioneering spirit, that we will continue to develop new beers and new styles of beers that push the envelope of the industry. And that's going to be a lot of fun.
Excuse me, everybody. Can I have your attention, please? On behalf of the Karl Strauss family, we'd like to say welcome to everybody tonight. This was the day that we opened up our downtown brewery 23 years ago. It was the first brewery to open up in the city of San Diego since Prohibition. So it's very cool to see where the San Diego beer scene has come over the last 23 years. And for us, it's a scene that we're very excited and psyched to be part of. Cheers to Karl, cheers to beer, cheers to 23.